organizers of these events. And I particularly thank our comrade, our brother, Comrade Ibrahim, for taking the sacrifice of coming all the way from Katsina. We have also in attendance Comrade Halim, who is the gender desk officer of our union. We have Asana, we have the national officer of the North Central, Comrade Kina. All of them are actually in attendance. Having said it, I want to say that open days such as this are meant to canvass issues that will broaden our horizon, our understanding on the critical topic that we are undertaking today. And I have a wish, probably this was made public online so that others too can join, because that will add value to what we are doing. We are living in an era that there is toxic communication, and gatekeepers either helping or encouraging is a debate that is ongoing. However, with the initiative of Clevenard, we believe that the toxic communication will eventually come to an end. We need to do that because in a democracy, the moment you allow toxic communication to proceed, and in a manner in which politicians take it as a capital, it is going to cause the nation a huge damage. And therefore, we congratulate you for taking this initiative that will, at the end of the day, provide an alternative that hitherto we never had. Communication for development is an issue that we are not going to run away from, because I have always insisted that the media is the oxygen for democracy. Take away the media, democracy will not survive. Take away the media, democracy will become tyranny. Take away the media and active participation of the people, democracy will fall short of its essence. And therefore, the media is at the heart of democracy, which underscores the fact that what this wonderful organization is providing to Nigerians and even the diaspora community is something that is essential and something that all of us should support. Gone are those days that terrestrial broadcasting was like the in thing. Today, most people, before they even wake up, they are already in touch with what is happening. But it will enhance our ability to ensure that the needful is done. I have been within this space for over a decade. Let me shock you that in Nigeria, as at yesterday, for the past 1 year, only 3 states were able to have a television and a radio house. The federal government of Nigeria has not added any. But when you come to online platforms, there are 82 online platforms that are coming to existence for the past 1 year. Why is it making it so? It's simply because it is faster, it is cheaper, it is actually the in thing to do if you want to reach a wider audience. What we're having here today, somebody can be in China and can still be in touch with us. And that is why even the terrestrial stations we have, whether radio or television, they are suddenly going online because that is the in thing to do. Therefore, we feel that identifying with a platform such as this is not only critical, but also very, very important. We will have an opportunity of having some issues to be taken care of in the process of this. Because if you are a content developer, this platform offers you an opportunity to actually create content and you are able to broadcast. But if you go to the territorial structures, it will be difficult for you to have an inward into them because probably you are not their staff or any other thing associated with them. But here is an organization that is offering itself that create content and bring it to us. We will help you to do what? To broadcast. On this note, I think that if our hands are not too busy, then we please appreciate the initiators of this program. The media and arts have a very serious link with cultural identity. We must continually identify with our cultures and in the process do the needful. My heart beats that today our people have lost their identity. Our cultural identity is fast eroding us, and people think it is only civil when you talk like the Westerners. And in any case, I put this to you. When you meet even people from the United Kingdom, if you meet people who are from the West and they speak, you know where they are coming from. If you meet a German and he or she speaks, you know this is a German. If you meet somebody who is from France and he or she speaks, you are able to know that this is where the person is coming from. However, when we come to the African continent, we are so much in the haste to mimic them and to behave like them, to want to look like them. It will not work, because there is an adage that says, where an old writing is erased, the new one finds it difficult to stick. Even though mentally we be made to believe that our own, it is not good, we can never be like them. And therefore, I am encouraging and calling on us that let us take our cultural identities seriously. I appreciate those who, even though in this era, can speak their language and speak it fluently. Language is a tool of communication. Language is a tool of education. Language is a tool that gives us any information we want. No matter what I have in mind, if I lack language, whether verbal or non-verbal, you will not know what is in my mind. Therefore, our language today should be taken very seriously. We are at a crossroads as a people today in Nigeria. The reason is simply because we have allowed the political class to hijack not only what we think, but also what we act. This has brought us to a point that today, even when we are reading on social media, you'll be able to identify who is of the APC, who is of the PDP, who is of the Labour Party, and the rest of them. And we are saying that the essence of the media is to divest itself from identifying and being hijacked by any political party, so that the media will remain independent, so that the media will continue to serve its role as a vanguard and an energizer of social change. If we are unable to achieve this, then the media has failed. If we allow the political class, the bourgeoisies, to hijack the media today, we are finished. You recall that in years past, the military were fought and they had to surrender governance. What do we use? It was not because of the guns we had, it was simply because of the media. So media is critical to our own welfare, well-being, and development. And so I encourage people today that will take the opportunity of this platform to ensure that the media does what it knows best. We hold the next generation this responsibility, and it is indeed a crucial responsibility that we should not renege from. I understand that press freedom in Nigeria today, just like in most parts of Africa, is a problem. But this is not to say that because the press has come under attack, we will not cower in and chicken out. No. Freedom and liberties are never given freely. You wrestle it. You what? Wrestle it from those who want to deny you of such opportunities. I beg that the media in Nigeria must wrestle its freedom and reclaim its lost glory or the glory it is losing. The diaspora community has a role to do in this endeavor. We need their support. We also need their encouragement so that all of us, having joined hands, we shall call these nations to its path of progress and development. We are sliding fast into a danger that it is not good. I am not particularly talking about the current government, but the situation we find ourselves in today speaks for itself, and we cannot shy away from it. You cannot continually fund consumption, borrow for consumption, without investing into production, and you think you are doing the economy. It is not just a paper economy, it is a food economy that will not help anyone. And therefore, I charge us that while we use this platform, it should also be an opportunity of using it as vanguard to bring about social change. On behalf of the National President, I sincerely welcome all of us here, and I wish us a very responsive conversation going forward. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful, amazing lecture on enhancing the potentials of the power of the internet and how it has changed and transformed our country, be for the positive or for the negative. As we're actually speaking, some of our guest speakers just dropped by. And we'll continue the program. We have a young woman here that we need to come up quickly and tell us more about herself and what she's been doing. But before that, just have a minute, let me get a vital information from this device, because this is the reason why we are all here. You know, in Nigeria, we have a funny way of saying things. If you want to put anything that is in Nigeria serious, you double it. It's more like, I don't know where we got that culture from. Growing up, my mom would do more money. You double the leader. Now, when you come out, you say, put that thing where. Okay, let's if they come here, now. What else again? There are other ones. Before. If I slap the air, you say waiting, so there are these typical Nigerian things. I don't know how we got it from. Like, we're in a nation whereby we grow up with certain things that are not actually right, or we got it confused. Take, for example, the Americans will say N, the British will say extreme. In Nigeria, we say what? Extreme end. There's another one again that actually cuts me off. The Americans will say shorts, British will say knickers. We'll now pull together. Yeah, that's how it is. But that is something that must change as regards to the awareness that we are creating today. Okay, on that note, I would like to invite this wonderful lady to continue with our meeting. Okay, she's by the name Awetu Hope Gabriel. She's a development practitioner with expertise in leadership and keen interest in politics and child development. Awetu is the founder of Lady Kwali Youth Leadership and Advocacy Hub, Regional Vice President of West African Youth Assembly, Country Rep for the Rojalef and more. Awetu is also passionate about community development, pushing more advocacy and education at the grassroots level. A certified political scientist and an MSc in peace and conflict resolution, and other certifications from local and international organizations in gender development and protocol institutions. Awetu is believed if she has educated people at the grassroots level, we can have more development in our community. And that's what Clevenard is all about, bringing that digital awareness to the communities at the grassroots. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mrs. Awetu Hope Gabriel.
Thank you very much. Permit me to stay on the existing protocol. I want to specifically thank the organizer of this interesting program. And I'll be speaking on integrating the youth in Africa through the digital space. So I believe all of us here are youth at heart. So whatever knowledge we're getting from here today is not going to be a waste. So today we embark on an exploration of a topic that holds immense promise for the future of our continent, integrating the youth in Africa through the digital space. As we gather here under the auspices of the Clevenard Open Project, we are united by a common vision to meaningfully change across our society. In a continent brimming with youthful energy and potential, the digital space offers unprecedented opportunities for growth and empowerment. From the bustling market of Lagos, the vibrant tech hub of Nairobi, digital technology is reshaping how we conduct businesses, engage politically, and connect socially. Yet, despite this advancement, many young Africans still face significant barriers in accessing these opportunities. Now, when we're looking at deeper in this topic, you realize that in Africa we have a very large youth body, and if we're looking at it currently, so Africa has the youngest population in the world. Over 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. And by 2050, estimation, the number of young people in Africa is expected to double about 800. That's the 850 young people million in Africa. So it means that we are expanding, the youth body is expanding, the age rate is expanding. So how do we utilize the digital space for development? How do we utilize the digital space for political engagement, for social engagement? And how do we make this useful for development in Africa? Why is this important? When we engage in the digital space, I want to give an example with probably the TikTok, the Facebook, and Instagram. You realize that we have many young people who are actually active in this space. And sometimes you will not understand what they are making. I did a personal research on TikTok, and I realized that a whole lot of people on TikTok who are very active make huge amounts of money. And it's not easy creating content, I can tell you. I know there was a time when they used to say, these people are wasting what are you using your phone to do? You're always on the phone, you're wasting your time on social media. Gone are those days we used to say that. Now, the more you spend time on social media, the more you utilize the social media, the better, because you gain some financial freedom, you gain some educational opportunities and all that. So today, I just want to lay some emphasis on why utilizing the digital space is very important. Number one, empowerment and opportunities. Digital technology provides African youth with unprecedented access to global markets, educational resources, and entrepreneurial tools. The empowerment can drive economic growth and create new jobs. Just like I said, before you have to travel to some certain countries to get one or two things, or even get some certain things done. But today, in your home, you could just engage in some platforms. And thank God for Clevenard. I was doing some personal research on it, and I realized that it's actually a solution to Nigerians or Africans across in the diaspora too. So when you utilize the digital space, you are not just creating value for yourself. You're also making money. You're also making some important impact in the society. Now, inclusive governance. Leveraging the digital platform can increase youth participation in political process and governance, ensuring that the voices of young people are heard and considered in decision making. Countless times have we seen a whole lot of young people take some vital steps through the social space and also making some important impact in the society. We've had series and countless of young people who have pushed for agendas, who have put for visions, who have made some critical changes, social changes in their society and through the use of the digital space. Cultural connectivity. The digital space facilitates cultural exchange and understanding among African countries, helping youth appreciate and engage with diverse cultures without geographical constraints. This cannot be overemphasized. It's something that we really have to look forward to on how we can utilize the digital space in enhancing our cultures, understanding the cultures of other African countries, and also improving the system and seeing how we can connect together and use it for values also. Overcoming barriers. Digital tools can help overcome traditional barriers such as a geographical isolation and limited access to resources, enabling a more equitable distribution of opportunities across the continent. Now, I'll just run through it quickly because of other engagement of people who are here. So, opportunities for youth in the digital space. In this presentation, we explore how digital technology can be a powerful tool for integrating African youth across various sectors. And our focus will be three: the political, the social, and the economic empowerment. Opportunities created by digital technologies. Number one, the market space. So, when we utilize the technology, we are open. When we go to Instagram, when we go to TikTok, you go to Facebook, we have a lot of business pages that they sell a whole lot of things. They also render some certain services. Unlike before, you have to drive out of your house and go to some certain shops or some certain plazas to seek for some services. But now with your phone, you can just, I want to get a plumber. I want to get a plumber, or I want to get someone who can be able to fix something in my house. And then before you know, thousands of companies roll out, and then you pick which one you think is suitable for your services, and that is how it's done now. So it gives us the opportunity to leverage on economic growth. It gives us the opportunity to be able to buy and sell. It gives us the opportunity to be able to access some certain places even without wasting ₦1 from your pocket, as maybe like transport, logistics, and all that. Lower costs. It reduces the need for physical storefronts and lowering startup costs and operational expenses. Am I too fast? Okay, so one of the importance of this is to be able to lower the cost. I wish we have a whole lot of young people here who are, into the development of business and all that, because we get to hear experiences and also listen to their own personal experiences of how they've been able to cope with this dispensation. But then, when you utilize the digital space, it lowers you from wasting a whole lot of money in renting places for your businesses. Sometimes you say, I want to start up a business, but I don't have capital. I want to start up a business, but I don't have money to rent up a shop. I don't have money to do this. But the digital space has created a free market space for us to be able to delve into it and utilize and make profit. So this is one of the benefits of it. And then the scalability facilitates rapid scaling of business through online sales, channels, and logistic network. Flexibility supports our various business models such as freelancing, remote work, and digital services. So this flexibility is you could be in your house and be able to run one or two businesses. Why am I emphasizing on this? Because whether we like it or not, money runs everything. Money runs everything. You can, when you wake up in the morning, whatever sort out your bill is money. So you have to think, how can I make this extra income? How can I be able to utilize the digital space? How can I be able to make profit from these things? And we should understand that freelancing job doesn't mean that, oh, you don't have to do other jobs. It gives you the opportunity to do multiple jobs. So you have to now look for the ideal skill that you want to learn, the ideal job you want to do, and the kind of services you want to render. And it gives you the opportunity to work remotely. These days we have, young people, even older people who are really involved in all these job spaces. They are able to render services and get their money even at the comfort of their bedroom. So you have to think, look at opportunities, use your phone. When we wake up in the morning, sometimes the first thing we do is, we just pick up our phone and then we do what is going on in the world, what's going on in the world. And I tell you, for every click you do on some certain pages, they get at least $1. For every skit you watch, at least, I'm just saying at least $1. For everything you do on anyone's page who is being monetized, is getting money. So what are you using your phone to do? What are you doing on the social media space? How are you utilizing this? And surprisingly, it's not just young people. We have older people who are so active on social media. And what do? They share their skills online. Some people, they talk for a living. They just give some 30 minutes, 1 minute talk, and then before you know, they are going viral, and then they have their monetization. Innovation. This encourages the development of new business ideas and niche that caters to digital consumers. Then resource efficiency. It utilizes cloud computing, digital payments, and online collaboration. I wish this was displayed, but I understand it's a technical issue. Now the second point I want to give is political engagement through the digital space. One of the things I always advocate for is young people to be part of politics. Sometimes they say, politics is a dirty game, politics is this, but let me tell you something, politics decide the air you breathe in the country. Politics decide if you can be able to leave your house in the morning. Politics decide what you will eat in the morning or you will not eat at all. We should not shy away from politics. As young people, get involved in politics. Get involved in politics because that is where the decisions are made. You don't say, I don't want to belong to this, I don't want to belong to that. No, you have to. Because at some point, your ideas can improve the system in the political party. Your ideas can be able to change some certain things. Your idea can be able to bring up innovations in the political party. Sometimes you don't have to run, but when you have great ideas and you share it in the political party, you say, this is the feedback we are getting from the society, and this is how we want it to be. So with that, you can make some certain changes. Now, raising political awareness. Many opportunities of political decisions have been done through digital space. Information dissemination, social media platform, and websites produce access to information about political processes, candidates and policies, increasing awareness and understanding among youth. Online campaign, digital campaign, and hashtag can mobilize support and spread awareness of key issues and encouraging youth participation in politics. One of the things that this does is it helps us engage, looking at other African countries and how the loopholes and how we can be able to cover them and be able to utilize this sector. Now you take a look at sorry, can you work on the mic, please? Okay, so you take a look at the changes that happen in Africa, not just in Nigeria, but you realize that it all started with a campaign. It all started with one push, one tweet.
It all started with some few groups of people who were sending messages and said, oh, these things there needs to be change in our community, there's need for change in our society, and that message sent and multiple of people joined in that. Also, advocacy and activities. The digital space have helped in advocacy and activism. So if you can use your space to make some changes you want to see, it's not just for yourself, but for also the development of your society. And also inclusive governance. We've had young people who had made some certain engagement online, and that engagement changed the space of young people in politics, changed the space, the notion of young people in politics, and beginning to be involved. It has brought inclusivity. It has brought young people to be part of the system. It has made young people to be able to be in the political space. I'm just trying to rush this up anyways. In the social integration and cultural understanding, promoting social learning, cultural exchange programs, and bridging cultural gaps. Now, why is this digital space really, really, really important? When utilized properly, you realize that it does not just bring just your personal upliftment, but also the society, but also the people around you, in your country and at large. Economic empowerment through digitalization. Overcoming geographical barriers. I can tell you that the presence of digital space has really increased the economic power of Africans. It has really, really increased the economic space. And how has this happened? We said cross-border e-commerce and digital platforms enable business to reach international markets, eliminating the constraints of physical borders. I know there was a time I really wanted to do a particular business, and when I traveled to Dakar, I just met a friend there, and then he was like, oh, I really wanted to do this particular business, how do we go about it? And that's how he was able to help me facilitate that. And we've been doing that, even not frequently going there, but I've been able to make some certain impact financially. So sometimes you may not be able to travel there all the time to different African countries, but with a good relationship you have with other people from the West Africa or the Africa region at large, you're able to make some certain financial and social and economic impact in your life. And this will not just help your life, but people around you. Challenges and solutions. The digital divides. So definitely we also have kind of challenges that affect this space. And for anyone who doesn't take risk, it's also a risk. So whatever thing you want to do in life, whatever decision, whatever vision you have as a person, because we all seated here, we have vision, we have plans. So, oh, in the next 5 years, I should be able to achieve this. In the next 10 years, I should be able to achieve this. But definitely, you have to look at the risk. And sometimes you say, oh, I bring a risk and then this, but you just have to go in there. And then look for how you can be able to navigate these challenges. Because whatever step you take, whether you take the step or not, you are still at risk. Because at the end of the day, if you are taking a risk to do it, you may achieve. And if you don't take it at all, it's, of course, you're not achieving it at all. So we have to look at the skill gap, the challenges, lack of digital literacy and technical skill. So what do? You have to equip yourself with digital knowledge. You have to learn some certain skills. I encourage parents who are here today. So support their kids in learning this. Because this is not just this is the future. Just yesterday I was reading the news, and then the founder of LinkedIn was saying that in the 2030 something or the 2050 something, that LinkedIn will be outdated, will be obsolete. So there's not going to be LinkedIn. Because many people are working from home today. In Clevenard, why did he come? I'm going to talk about it, but why did he come up? Well, because the founder saw that there was a problem and he brought solution. What was the problem? Finding it difficult to attract people who are going to, get their services. And then he brought this, and from there they began to get people patronizing and also interacting with each other across the globe. So you have to look at what is the problem you want to solve. As an individual, as a business person, are you a business person that is saying, oh, I don't want to go on the internet, I don't want to use the internet? I'm telling you, there are a lot of people cashing out from this, millions. Do you know that you can be in your room, you advertise your product, and then you sit, and then people are ordering, and then you deliver? So if you have kids who are teenagers, of course, with phones, teach them or encourage them to learn these digital skills. We have remote work. We have companies like Upwork. You have a whole lot of companies that you just sit in your house and offer some certain services, and you are getting paid. So let's not be the normal parents that you say, oh, you just have to go to school, and after school you look for how to get a job. There are no government job that can serve the whole Nigerian youth. So you have to start thinking ahead. How do I plan for my kids? What kind of skill is good for my kids to learn? Has my child be using his phone? What are the skills? Encourage the child to learn these skills. And at the age of 18, 19, they're already making good money online. Not the other kind of money, but good money. They are being paid for. They have virtual assistants. They have a whole lot of freelancing jobs online. So you just have to look for it and encourage your kids to do that. Now, I'll just give you 2 case studies. One of the case study is the founder of Flutterwaves. These are people that saw problems in Africa. How do we, encourage people to do business among the African countries? And this person decided to, or these persons, because they are co-founders, let us come together and set up a paying system. How we can be able to, people can be able to pay. When they buy goods from different countries, or they are in another country, you know how difficult it is. Most of the times when you are traveling in these African countries, sometimes Naira don't even have value. When you look at the rate in the airport, you look at what is this? You have it on Naira but doesn't have value. So before you leave, you just have to change the dollar or euro. And at the end of the day, you spend more. So this really helps to balance the trading system. So that is how we, as young people or older people, we start thinking. We start thinking and creating more ideas. We start thinking of innovation. We start thinking of how we can be able to make some certain impact and certain growth in our society. And the second example I want to give is about this Clevenard. He said over a decade ago, the founder ventured into the important business of bringing products from Nigeria to Europe, particularly the United Kingdom, and the journey began with significant challenge, including marketing and difficulties and financial setback. Clevenard was developed as a comprehensive solution to bridge business gap and networking divides. The platform offered a premier business services to clients both in the diaspora and in the diaspora by providing a dedicated space for African business. So what are the outcomes of this Clevenard? The Clevenard stands to be as a beacon of bridging business and networking device, offering comprehensive platform for clients to access premier business and services, both locally in the diaspora and in the diaspora. The platform has successfully empowered numerous African businesses and enabling them to grow. So basically, this platform, I actually went through it and I also tried to sign up. So you can always have your account and publish your post there. This is a site where people come to visit, just like your Facebook, your Instagram and all that. It's a site where you can also have an account. So when you are posting, you have a lot of people from thank you. You have a lot of people from different sector of life in different countries, not just Africa, but world at large. So when they see your products, they see your services, they begin to patronize you. So I will encourage us today, you can check clevenard.com and go through it and see if you can have an account with them. It's a free, like a social media account. So strategies for integrating
integration, sorry, we have to learn collaboration. Collaboration. The government, the private sectors, and NGOs have to work together. So don't say, oh, private people do your thing, NGOs do your thing, the government should do their thing. No. So we have to create a society where we all have to work together for the development of our country. Public, of course, and private partnership to form digital projects. Empowerment. The digital literacy program in school and communities, coding, boot camps, and training programs for youth. So these are strategies for integration. This will help. So if Africa can come together and be able to achieve one or two things in integration, especially for young people, I think we are going a very long, productive space. In conclusion, the digital space offers immense opportunities for African youth, addressing challenges and requires collaboration and commitment. The space is open. Like I said, the market is a marketplace. I want you to look at some certain things today. When you go back in your quiet time, go on your phone and say, how can I make money online? There is nothing that is easy in this life. Nothing is easy. Even when you try to create content on social media. In fact, when I was really going through all this stuff, I was like, oh, these people, they are really doing a lot. It takes a lot to create content. So if you're a business person, you're a politician, you're a civil servant, whatever you are, utilize the digital space because it gives you a voice. It encourages and also inspires other people who are, looking forward to the kind of things you do. Together, we can empower a digital generation and transform our continent. Let's take action today. So, my final words, I'll say I'm young people. Let me speak to us who are young people today. You have to write down your vision and make it plain. Look at yourself today and develop a plan for yourself. In the next 5 years, what am I going to do with my life? What will my life be? If you are comfortable, what if you are not comfortable tomorrow? If you have it today, what if you don't have it tomorrow? So you have to have a backup plan. You have to look at whatever thing you are doing and then see how you can expand, see how you can, create a better space for yourself. Thank you very much.
I like how the Yorubas give their names. Sometimes they just ask you, they look into your future and they give you a name. And I know Apostle Phil is in the tourism department. He has traveled far and wide. He did a trek around Nigeria, so right? He trekked around Nigeria. Somebody trekked around Nigeria. Okay. He went from Abuja to the Niger Delta. Okay, he trekked, and it's a great one. And the Yoruba people, when they give birth to a lady and they look at her like, she's not gonna be too tall, she'll be small, they'll call her Shola. When they look at her like she'll be 6 feet, like the queen out over there, with a lovely straight leg, they'll call her Paula. Welcome. This is what they know about him, but on a personal note, I think we have been friends for over 15 years. He was my senior way back then, and
challenges I had before embarking on that trip was how do I get the work to do what I want to do? And I say, I wish I had met you guys before now. Maybe it would have gone more global, you understand? Because one of the roles of the internet is to help you take little things and put it on the wall to see and make it as big thing. My name is Ambassador Phil. I'm the Global Tourism Promoter and the Executive Director of Tourism Clevenard Network. I am trying to share my insights on harnessing digital marketing in fostering economic growth within Africa and the diaspora, in the diaspora community at the Clevenard Open Project Abuja seminar. Now, I'm just going to start from there because a lot of people ask me, why did you decide to trek from Abuja to Delta? Are you less busy? Or is it that you don't have what to do and you decided to trek? So I'm a rock musician, like he mentioned, And a lot of times when you mention rock music in Nigeria, a lot of people look at you and they're like, oh, do people play rock music in Nigeria? And I say, yes, we have our own kind of crowd. Now, a lot of times when I travel out of the country for my rock music shows, I find out that people always want to take me to different tourism sites. They always want to take me to showcase their tourism potentials. And as you come down from the mouth of the plane, while you move into your hotel, you see people come and meet you. They say, oh, I want to take you to this place, I want to take you that. And while you are going to your hotel, you'll be seeing the flags and the colors of their country. And, and when you come back to Nigeria, the reverse is the case. Because number one, before you land at the airport, you're already seeing the zinc. The color of the zinc is already brown. So it's showing you that you are back to Nigeria. Then number two, you get to the mouth of the plane, coming out from the plane, custom is there, immigration is there, harassing you and all that. You scale through that one. You go to the toilet to take a leak after jet lag or whatever. Those guys at the toilet are asking, Baba, how far? What you bring for us? Anything for us? And you like, what's happening? You get out of that place and you're driving back to your house. Maybe your driver came to pick you, or you got a taxi or whatever, and you're going to your house. Now, instead of seeing beautiful colors of Nigeria and all that, the next thing you see is VIO. It's embarrassing you, road safety police. And I'm like, how do we change all of this? Imagine if I'm a tourist and I'm in this country. How do we change all of this? And I started thinking, and I was like, with what I've seen outside those countries I've traveled to, how can we start doing it here? Because I do Rock Music Federation once in 2 years, and I'm planning the next one this year, and I bring a lot of musicians in and outside Nigeria. So what I started doing is I was like, what I see in a lot of those countries is tourism. And tourism is a big deal in those countries. A lot of those countries make money, but in Nigeria, we just look at oil. I'm from the Niger Delta. So when I talk about Nigeria believing and looking so much in oil, I know what I'm saying. So I started thinking, how do we think outside the box and help Nigeria make so much money from tourism? Me, or just me. And I didn't even know that there was a directorate for tourism in the FCT. When I was planning Rock Music Festival, I got to them. Someone introduced me to them, and I was like, oh, this is what tourism is all about. And I didn't even know that what I've been doing is tourism. Because tourism is in all walk of life. And that was how I was introduced. What you're doing here is also tourism. What you do in the internet space and ICT is also tourism. It will shock you to know that we have domestic tourism, we have medical tourism, food tourism, which is gastronomy, travel tourism, transportation tourism, sports tourism, educational tourism, a lot. Tourism is like in your everyday life, and you can make so much money from it. And that was how I started talking to entertainers to see how do we help Nigeria be like other countries and start making so much money from tourism. And that is how my adventure into tourism started. And by the grace of God, I was able to put people together, just like as I'm talking to you now, just like that. I started putting people together, started joining me to see how we can help Nigeria make money from tourism, how we can showcase our various tourism potentials. And by the grace of God, now I have about 7,000 volunteers working with me in promoting tourism. Yeah, you can clap for that. It just started before 1 year. We are not even up to 1 year old. That was last year, September. And we have about 7,000 volunteers in 17 states. And I also have 4 country reps in 4 countries promoting Nigerian tourism. And that is how it just started. Just engagement between people like this, me posting on the internet, posting on Facebook. Do you want to join my new network called Tourism Volunteers Network? And the internet helped me reach more crowd, and we have those numbers of people. And what I now decided to do is that how do I take this a little bit further? And I decided that Nigerians don't believe in what you are doing except you behave as if you want to die and you put yourself in their face before they will now come and look into your matter. And I was now like, this thing here, so we started and we are doing well, but I think I need to make more people understand that tourism has a lot of potentials. Nigeria can make so much money from tourism. If you are a content creator here or you do so much in the internet, if you go to any place and you take pictures of those locations and you put it on your platform, people start asking questions. Where is this place? Where is this place? You are now using it as an opportunity to drag attention to yourself. So I started looking, what do I do? And we're having a strategic meeting in my office with my volunteers, and we're talking about something. I can't remember what we were talking about. And I just said, I want to drink. They looked at me and like, what are you saying, sir? I said, yes, I want to drink. He said, trek for what, sir? I said, I want to trek from Abuja to Delta State. So I'm from Delta State. And I'm like, my state has a lot of tourism potential, but it's not being promoted. And I called the project Tourism Across the Niger. Now, wow, I sent you something. Now, why did I call it Tourism Across the Niger? Nigeria is a blessed country. Our unity in diversity, like we said, is always not there. We are blessed with so many cultures and all of that. And I decided that I want to use tourism as a means to build unity in Nigeria. I want to weave unity and love across the Niger. Now, I trekked from Abuja to Delta State, which is Abuja and Kogi, which is the north, right? Then Edo State and Delta State, which is what? The south. So I called that the first phase of the project, and I called it Tourism Across the Niger. So I had to trek using two states, capital and Kogi, and the other one, the Edo and Delta, to see how we can weave Nigerians together. And that was my decision, to use tourism and creative industry as a tool to weave peace and unity in Nigeria. Now, one of the challenges I had before I started this trekking, a lot of people were telling me, oh, they will kidnap you, Nigeria is not safe. Oh, this. I told them, don't worry. Shebi is me that want to trek. Shebi is me that will kidnap. Let me sign. If they kidnap me, don't bring money for me. Let me stay there with them. And when I wanted to do this project, I had a lot of people who came to give me reasons why I should not do it. The few people that gave me reasons why I should do it were just 3 people. Oh, you have a young wife. Oh, you have a young son. You have this one. Oh, this network is just starting. What if they kidnap you? I said, what if I go and succeed? Why is all of you not talking about whatever? Now, what I do is that I also tell a lot of young people that work with me, when people give you reasons not to do something, when you get out of that place, think about what they have said. Go and look for how you can make it work, so that you too, shame no go catch you when you go do the thing you failed. So what I did was that I put up all those negativities together, I built up my strength, and I started working towards achieving the project. I wrote to the office of the IG, and they called me, who is this madman that wants to trek? And I said, I want to trek from Abuja to Delta. This is the reason why I want to trek. Now, when I went to the IG's office, I said, I want to show Nigerians that Nigeria is secure. That is why I want to trek. I said, just imagine if I trek from Abuja to Delta State and they didn't kidnap me. Do you know the political points you have scored? So I was wise enough to also know what to sell to them. So if you are here and you are doing anything on the internet, you need to know your market. What you sell to Mr. A is different from what you sell. Is different from the way you market to Mr. A is different from the way you market to Mr. B. So that was the strategy I used in selling tourism across the Niger. It was the same method. I went to the Ministry of Tourism. I've been struggling to see the Minister of Tourism. I've been doing tourism, but because they heard that one madman wants to trek, everybody wanted to see me. And that was how I met the minister. And she said, you will go and succeed. I said, thank you. And that was how I became friend with the Honorable Minister of Tourism, just like that. So assuming I didn't want to trek, nobody would have seen me. So when we did the unveiling, the minister came there by herself to confirm true that this guy I want to trek. A lot of people came in Abuja to confirm if I want to trek. The IG of police gave me security. But guess what? I told them I don't want to see any police working with me, because I don't want people to think I'm a VIP. When police are going with me everywhere from Abuja to Delta State, then you will cause more problem for me. Let the police be going on their own. Me, I'll be going on their own. So all the commissioners of police, all on my way to Delta State, were in touch with me. And one of the strategies I also used was I wore green, white, green. I wish wow can bring that up. I was putting on the colors of my country, which is the green, white, green. I was also carrying the Nigerian flag. So guess what? Any place that I went to, as you can see, any place that I went to as I was trekking, Nigerians were loving me. Why? Because I was putting on green, white, green. And I was carrying on the flag of Nigeria. So even if you're a kidnapper or you're a wicked man, once you see me, first of all, these emotions that I've created will change your mind. And that was how I was eating a lot of free food on my way from Abuja to Delta State. I met with the governor of Edo State. I met with a lot of governors on this project. I met with a lot of government officials and met with a lot of commissioners of police. And the connections and the blessings from. In fact, when I came back from this project, one company that used to support me gave me a land when I came back. I have 2 lands now in Abuja because of this trekking. You understand? He gave me 2 lands because of I trekked from Abuja to Delta State. And that is what I did. Now, the reason why I did this is that I wanted to promote my country. And I didn't just want to promote tourism. I wanted to do it in a creative way because my organization is designed to promote the tourism investment potential of Nigeria through patriotism and volunteerism. So that is why I decided that while trekking on this journey, I must show patriotism. I must encourage people to love their country. And I was able to explain and let Nigerians know that Nigerians love Nigeria. Don't let anybody deceive you. They loved me because I was putting on the colors of my country. They loved me because I was carrying the flag of my country. Now I was supposed to trek for 21 days, but because I needed those pictures and videos that I wanted to use to promote what I'm doing, I had to trek for 30 days. I trekked for 27,600 minutes. I trekked for 550 kilometers, and I trekked for 50 days. Now, why did I have to bring this up? I had to go with a complete team. I had my drone pilot, I had my video cameraman, and I had a photo cameraman. While I was trekking, they were in the car following me small. Most times they will also come down and trek with me to get the shots that was needed. Now, why did I have to explain to you? If I had trekked that trekking and come back like that without the content, it's a waste of opportunity. So if you are doing any business that have to do with the internet, your content is what you need to sell you. Don't waste that data. The quality of content that you put, the right content that you put out there will help to grow your page, will help to bring you up and make you big. And just be known for something on the internet. Don't just be known for anything that will not make you be useful. If a brand wants to sign you up or looking at for something, they should know what they're looking at for you. Today, a lot of brands call me because of tourism. I know even before I live here now, you want to do business with me, not so. Because I have been able to show I trekked, and I didn't say I trekked with maps. Look at it. I have content. I have 2 hard drives of what I trekked. Videos, high definition, 4K. So I spent money. So I have the content. They are there. And people looking for who I will do business with. TV stations are asking, "Oh, can we use this?" I have content that can last for 6 months on the TV show. So after which I'm planning to trek again, but not really trekking this time, from Lagos to Ghana. Now, what do I want to do? I want to promote what is called educational tourism. So what I want to do with that educational tourism project, there's a project Mr. President signed before he left the office, President Buhari, the AFTA project, which is the free trade agreement. So I want to see how I can use that opportunity to weave the African countries together, to say we can do business together. And through educational tourism in Nigeria has so much on education. Our people are very brilliant, but a lot of times they go out of the country to go and study. But there is so much that we can learn from here. And somebody was asking me, Phil, this thing you want to sell Nigeria educational systems. What about if you come now and start to study now, as to now go on strike? What do you say? I said, I've sold the project and I've sold the project. So they're also giving me reason why I should not trek to Ghana. But people in Ghana are telling me, Charlie, please come. So that is the reason. What am I saying is that anything you do, you must have people that will give you reasons not to do it. So I'm a global tourism promoter, and that is what I do. So when you're doing anything on the internet, and of course, Clevenard is a platform that creates space for everybody. So you find your markets. People man say find your markets there. So when you find your markets there, you try to see how you can use the platform to sell yourself. Now, as a tourism expert, I have witnessed the transformative power of digital marketing in promoting destinations, attractions, and cultural heritage. Through my experience with tourism across the Niger project, I have seen how digital marketing can showcase Africa's diverse tourism offerings to a global audience, increase bookings and revenue for local businesses, create jobs and stimulate local economies, facilitate diaspora engagement and investment in tourism projects, enhance cultural exchange and understanding, Digital marketing offers numerous benefits for tourism, including targeted advertising and increased visibility, real-time feedback and customer engagement, cost-effective promotion and rescheduled marketing expenses, access to a global audience and increased bookings. From my experience with the tourism across the Niger project, I recommend developing digital marketing strategies tailored to specific tourism projects, investing in high-quality content creation and storytelling, leveraging social media and influencer marketing, utilizing data analytics to track performance and adjust strategies. Let's enhance the power of digital marketing to promote African tourism, promotion, and cultural excellence. Now, before I leave, I'm going to tell you a short story. I just want to inspire somebody before I leave. I do this anytime I have opportunity to speak to people, especially when we have young people. Like I said, my name is Ambassador Firoba. I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm a business developer, I'm a tourism promoter, and I am a young lad from the Niger Delta, a place called Delta State. In my mother's compound, my grandmother's compound, I could remember vividly when we traveled to the village. There is a very long pipe that is at the back, and we usually go there to sit and play. And we have a lot of oil companies in my village. I see these companies in my place, I see the white guys, I see the way these oil companies, the engineers carry themselves, and I was like, one day I will work in this oil company, one of these oil companies. And anytime I go there to look for a job in all those oil companies in my community, they will tell me that I didn't go to school, I don't have certificate and all that. And I decided that I will go to school to study mechanical engineering because I want to work in an oil company. So I went to school and I studied mechanical engineering. Though I was doing music, I used music as an entertainer to skill myself and train myself in school, and I graduated as a mechanical engineer. I came out with 2-2, and I came out, as a mechanical engineer, even third class safe and big something. You know that. So, with music, although I had a lot of distraction because of entertainment, because I had always had to go for shows and all of that, because I was paying my way through school, my school fees, and in fact, most times my mother would call me and say, "You don't go call her as one chop food." I said, "Mommy, don't worry." As a student, I was even sending money to the house, to my people, because I was making money in school as a musician. I played with the likes of Osadepe, I played with the likes of Oliver Diko, I played with the Bright Chimizi, I played with, I think I played once with Morocco. Yeah, because then I schooled in Anambra State University anyway. So I played with a lot of them, and as a young lad who was gifted in music, I could play the keyboard very well. I had opportunities to meet these people, and in those places, my skill made way for me because they loved me. Because number one, I was a young lad and I was a student, and I had my own keyboard. And anytime I played my own keyboard in their shows, I always steal the crowd because I knew that I had to pay my school fees. So the way I was playing keyboard was different from the way other people were playing. I would play as if I want to die. And I would steal the show, I was making so much money, I would come back to school with so much money. And that was what I was doing. So, when I graduated from school as a mechanical engineer, I went back to same oil companies, Shell specifically, Shell and ExxonMobil, and also Chevron in Warri. And I'm like, yes, I'm back. I have my certificates, I'm a mechanical engineer, give us work. And they say, you don't have experience. I'm like, what's happening here? And fortunately or unfortunately for me, that was the period where militancy was at its peak in the Niger Delta, and that was how people like us, they started calling us Niger Delta militants. Because when I graduated, I just wanted to work in an oil company. I forgot that I was a musician and I was an entertainer making so much money. But because I graduated at the peak of militancy, and then His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo was contesting for third term as a president, and that's when he told us that those oil pipeline you people used to sit down in your place, that is what is feeding Nigeria. That is the crude oil Nigeria used to feed them. We say, oh, so this is where they have been taking our money to go and live big life in Abuja, and we are dying in hunger, we are dying in starvation, oil spillage everywhere, our fishes are dying, our farms are all gone, and that was part of the anger, and that's why a lot of us got into militancy and we did what we did there. Now, a lot of our brothers and friends lost their life in a lot of gun battle with police, with JTF, in the river, in the high sea, and all of that. A lot of times you will just be on the sea and you are just sitting with your whatever, the next thing you see, the person sitting with you is gone. There's a bullet shot on him, it's gone, this one is gone. Everybody dive into the water, we run away, we go and recruit in the barracks and all of that. We're hiding in the creeks. We felt we were fighting for our rights because we were fighting for the emancipation of Niger Delta. We were called men that period. And at the end of the day, one day we were given amnesty. Even though we were tired of hiding from police, army, because we now became a problem to the government. The government was also asking that we should come for negotiation, and the problem we also having was that the monies that was given to us was given to our fathers and our chiefs. They will say, don't worry, they are our children, we will talk to them, they will collect the money, they will not give us anything. Or when they will give us, they will not share 1 million or 500 when they have collected major. And we were still agitated in the field. And most times they give those monies to our organ, our leaders, and they will take the big one, we that are going to shoot and spoil things, they will give us small things. And people like us that had ambition, I knew that I was going to be a great man. I knew God has designed me to be a voice in the Niger Delta. I knew God has designed me to be a voice in Nigeria, in and outside of Nigeria. So I was looking for, how can I get out of this life that I'm living? I don't want to die. Every time you see yourself, you're always escaping bullets and all of that. I don't want to die. And luckily for me, amnesty came, Yaradua, and they gave us amnesty. Before they said 1, 2, 3, I accepted amnesty. I was part of the people that came out, I shook the hands of then Yaradua, and I received amnesty. And since then I came to Abuja, I refused to go back to the Niger Delta. Now why am I sharing this? When I came out from the creek, I told them that the problem our people have is that our fathers and our elders have failed us. They've been lying to us. They've been collecting those monies, they've not been giving us. But I have a talent and I have a gift. Allow me to use entertainment to speak to my people. Allow me to do small shows and concerts inside the creek. Then when we do those concerts, we can now speak to them and explain to them that they can live a good life. Issues can be settled on the table instead of us using guns. And they were like, you sure say you go walk, you sure say you go. And I said, do your own amnesty. I will do my own, sponsor me. And I was doing small concerts in the creeks. I was not using myself as an example to my brothers who were still in the creek. I said, I'm an engineer. I used to be one of you. But look at now, I'm using my talent. I'm playing music everywhere. I'm doing shows, I'm doing things, and I'm making money. What if I had died when we were doing all of this and struggle? I wouldn't have been doing what I'm doing today. And a lot of them were like, but we don't get skill, we don't get this. We started teaching them music, we started teaching them a whole lot of things, and a lot of them started coming out from the creek. And that's how a couple of people started receiving amnesty genuinely. And a lot of people came out of the creek. And today, Niger Delta is what it is today. I'm now a global tourism promoter, and I'm also a promoter of Nigeria. The Nigeria that I was fighting to destroy. But look at me here today, because I have a goal, I know where I'm going. I know that if we destroy the Niger Delta, there will be no Niger Delta. If we scatter everywhere, where will our children live? If we decide to make problem everywhere, who will solve the problem? Will you be there to tell the story? The green and white that I wore all around the Niger Delta when I walked through that city, it exposed to me how our people, Niger Deltans, still love Nigeria. I don't know who I'm speaking to today. I believe that the platform of Clevenard can also be a major platform for advocacy. I believe it can also be a platform where me and you can start a major movement to purge the minds of our people to understand that without Nigeria, there will be no me and you. Imagine if Nigeria goes into war or go into civil war. Can the places like Cotonou absorb us? Can Togo take us? Can Cameroon absorb us? No. If there is no Nigeria, there will be no new Nigeria. So the best thing that we can do with the Clevenard platform and claim with every one of us is to see how we can utilize it to promote peace, unity, and love in our country. As I end my message as a global tourism promoter, the reason why I decided I will promote tourism, not just promote tourism, but through volunteerism and patriotism, is because we're trying to see how we can use the platform to promote Nigeria in a good light. For a long time now, I have never promoted anything bad news about Nigeria. A lot of people have what they take joy in doing is to promote, oh, there is fight here, there is this here. They promote only evil things about Nigeria. But what I do, I decided after receiving amnesty that I was not going to promote any bad news about Nigeria. I decided to be, even if I'm the only patriotic Nigerian, I want to be the person that will only promote good news about Nigeria. Do you know why? When I wanted to trek from Abuja to Delta, the only thing I was hearing is that they will kidnap me. Oh, they will kill you, they will do this. A lot of people outside this country, they believe that immediately you get into Nigeria, Boko Haram will kill you. They believe that immediately you get into Nigeria, kidnappers will kidnap you. They don't believe that in Nigeria that we can be safe seated like this discussing. And I was able to do that job, that my trekking to Niger Delta, and I came safely, showing that Nigeria can be secure. My name is Ambassador Firogon, and I believe fostering economic growth and development can be a major thing that we can achieve through the Clevenard platform. I believe strengthening diaspora engagement and investment can be achieved through the Clevenard platform. I believe we can create a digital tourism revolution in Africa through this platform. And I believe after leaving this place today, I'll be able to talk to you to let you know that the Nigeria that we want to work can only be made possible with the quality of content promoting Nigeria and Africa that you post on Clevenard. God bless you.
You will understand. All right. And finally, an eloquent businesswoman, Hajia Adizamwa, currently resides in the UK and Nigeria, shuttling intermediately. And please, I want us to do something for me. Mama has been a mother beyond compare. And sometimes when we later, Mama, I'm great daddy, when you don't mind us, you can have to I'm getting personal here. But please, a round of applause for Hajia One. Hajia. Okay, Mama, please go away. We are saving the best for the last. Please relax. Okay, without further ado, please let's have my own research manager from the art and culture. He just stepped out, okay, and we now have to come back to our mother station. Without all things that made possible by NTA. They were the first people that brought what visual expression was all about. Nigeria had its own, those that were in the UK in those years had that, but for the charity begins at home, let's celebrate our own. On that note, I'd like to welcome our person from the NTA. Let me get his full accolades before I call him up for his presentation. Please help me welcome Ambassador John Adewigbe. Ambassador John Adewigbe, where is he? Is he around? Please, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Please, you're welcome, sir. Sir. I was supposed to, let me allow you sit first. In Africa, they say when somebody comes to your house, they give you his seat.
Right now, because my flight is very, very
Oh, please, okay, sir. Thank you very much for that. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Dr. Ambassador Adewigbe. I'm the chairman of the National
agricultural commodity project. That is Farmers Union that comprises of 68 commodity associations, 100,000 cooperative society, farmers cluster group. I would like to talk a little about the National Agricultural Commodity Project. And what that means is it's really dragging everybody down. No wonder the labor union is asking that the salaries of workers should be looked into. The need for us to help them create grassroots farmers, real-time data of real farmers, not political farmers. Upon the finishing leg of Muhammadu Buhari, we realized that most of the data that central bank and the commercial bank has been using over time has been, falsified documents. So as such, the union has made it upon itself to go to grassroots, then start creating, seeing that the importance of information, we started creating ID cards for farmers. This ID card is actually integrated with their account, their BVN, their NIN, to supporting them with what is, globally trending. And when we're doing that, we're also talking with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, as well as some other agencies. And in doing that, we realize that it's not going to be business as usual. As such, the farmers now understand that their fate is in their hands. And in doing that, they started, coming up with a model of a PPP project. In this PPP project, as we speak right now in Kaduna, we are doing 1,015 farmers, growing maize and rice. We support them with fertilizer and the necessary inputs for farming, for this wet season. I think by another 1 or 2 months, we should be engaging them to see how we can do a recovery. Our farmers are asked to pay 50%, and then the union is going to support them with 50%. Not grant. It's not free. They will be paying the balance of their money at harvest. We started coining programs by partnering with stakeholders in the agri space, particularly the input producers. So we've gone into MOU with them. We are also talking with some off-takers who will be taking what the farmers produce. And we've now seen that this season, this very period we all find ourselves, is very important in this nation. Agriculture is not a sector you want to put aside. Sometime around 2021, which happens to be the last lap of associations like Rice Farmers Associations, where they did a pyramid project. If you look around social media, many people are really misinformed. I'm saying this not as the president of Rice Farmer, but I'm saying this because I also happen to be their consultant. In that project, so many things was flying on the social media saying that, it's a good story, but really it's not a good story. But where we find ourselves in this country is, there's no consistency in what we do. We produce food, we consume what we produce. And as we consume what we produce, if we don't keep producing, it becomes a problem. And, at that same period, the government is saying no more importation of food. That there's a slogan where they say, you eat what you produce what you eat. So, and it's really not helping anybody. Because that same period, you could see the statistics with FAO, where they said that Nigeria happened to be the highest grower of rice in sub-Saharan Africa. It used to be Egypt, but Nigeria took over, from there. I'm sure they will not be falsifying their information. In present time, you'll be seeing information on TV where they will be broadcasting that the present government has spent 3 trillion on agriculture. The question I tend to ask myself, who, where, how did they spend this money? They will start sharing rice in states, be giving rice to household. 1 bag of rice, I really don't know. I only have 2 boys, and I know that, a bag of rice sometimes don't do so much for me right now in Lagos. So we in this present time, with this kind of platform, we're able to sell information, to members of the public, for them to see the need for us all to go back to agriculture. Growing up, I have always known, my dad happens to be a retired group captain in the Air Force. growing up, I know my dad on weekends would take us to his farm. But in present time, we see a civil servant who is earning maybe 80,000 naira per month, only depends solely on his salary. I don't know how they are doing it. Then the military men has, they have accommodation, free accommodation, free electricity. So many, even transportation is free. And still he has to go into agriculture. And he tends to take all his children into, here in Lagos, I'm talking here in Lagos. Then we used to play from the barracks, the presidential wing of the airport. We just throw in from the airport into the farm. We were living as though we're living in the village. But all of this has really added up to me as an individual. Growing up, I have also understand that I can't depend solely on what I earn in salary. Sometime around 2021, I set up my first company. If not for information technology, I would not have been able to do such thing. 2021, I set up a company called Johnny Walker Travels and Tours. This platform, I was able to meet with so many dignitaries, because I also offer what they call Black Passage Protocol to expatriates who are coming into Nigeria, people who can't really speak English. I don't need your English. I have my translator. I will talk to you, translate what I need to translate, take you to your hotel, and then I get paid. And through there, I was able to also employ so many people. And this same period, I was also employed with the Ministry of Defense as a civilian staff. I was earning salary for some time. I understand that salary really cannot help me, because at that time I was earning 27,000 naira, as salary. And ordinary my transportation before the month ends, I've already exhausted the whole money. So then I need to resign and then go to aviation. In aviation, I was able to work for another 14 years. In this aviation, yes, I resigned as grade level 12 from the Nigerian Management Agency, to be precise, an agency called the Nigerian Management Agency. This very agency, its work is to navigate, interact with the pilots as they fly in the sky. Still, I understand with 300,000, and I think that's around 7-8 years ago, 300,000 can't do well for me and my family as a civil servant. So if that can't do well, I have rent to pay, I have my mom, I have my dad who is retired, I need to support. 300,000 can do like nothing. So because of this, I have to let go. Then depend on what they say ideas rules the world.
Sure.
So because of this, my idea, I was able to have my interaction with Southeast Asia. And from there, I started building relationship. This relationship, has helped me so much. I just came back from Thailand last week with the daughter of the president. This is an all-expense paid trip for somebody who used to be a civil servant who earned 300,000. If I had been in civil service, would I have been able to do that? Pay her trip, pay for all her crew she's coming with. And if also I had remained as somebody who carry memo from one table to another, would I have actually been where I have been today? Today I can speak anywhere, I talk anywhere. Just, the same period I was there in Bangkok, we're there in the UN, we're giving speech on global warming in Africa precisely, and how it affects us here in Africa, how industrialization has really, affect the ecosystem and where we find ourselves today. So many of these things are what this platform would really help to disseminate to the youth. Because if you look at Nigeria precisely, youth and women happens to take like 85% of our population. And if this kind of platform is not available, how then can we showcase, intellectual property? How then can we sell ideas? I look at the story of Thailand, I look at the story of India and even China, when their population was spiking, before they get to the number where they are, then they used to, there's this control. They started with control pills, and then they came with a belt, to reduce sperm count, so that they can control population. Nigeria is not controlling its population, and we are giving birth per seconds, not per seconds. And we want to remain the same way we used to be. It can't be. This kind of platform needs to really be available for us to be able to evolve. We are not evolving in this country. I look at, when they were giving me country rating, I come to understand. I used to look at Benin Republic as a vulnerable country. But Benin Republic is actually ahead of Nigeria. Benin Republic is underdeveloped. Nigeria is a developing nation. Is very, very, I don't know how to put it. As I speak to you, the present president of Benin Republic had stopped export of raw farm produce like cashew, like cocoa, cotton. Then when these Indians and Lebanese will come and start going to farm gates to take farm produce, the president right now has stopped it. Now he's encouraging the community, he's encouraging his citizenry to do value addition. If it's for cocoa, let's make chocolate. If it's for cashew, what can we bring out of cashew? So all of these things are what this kind of platform will tell to members of the public, to sensitize the members of the public of the importance. When I see many of our brothers, when they travel out of the country, I feel very bad. Because it's actually intellectual drain on the nation. We have the best of physicians, we have the best of businessmen all around the world. Particularly, when you're talking about people in diaspora, Nigerian diaspora, if we take our population, I think it's double where we are right now today in Nigeria. And every second, I'm very sure there are some people here who are preparing their passport for their children to go to Canada. If we all leave this country, what happens to this land? Like the last speaker said, we don't have another Nigeria. This is the best Nigeria. This is the only place we can do anything and we can say anything. I understand we are all agreed. We are all hungry. I am also hungry. Because if I think I can provide for my meal, what about my brothers? What about my cousin, my nephew? Just last week, my dad was calling me. I said, but you're a retiree. You have your pension. He's telling me, no, I should do this, I should do that. So if we don't improvise, keep creating local solutions, how can we better our state? I was there in Thailand. I was looking at Thailand of then and now. What are they doing right? What do Thailand have as natural resources? What do we have? I look at sector like the solid mineral sector, where you have different type of gemstones, where we could make multi-trillion dollars in that very sector. But corruption has killed virtually everything. Small abuse of office is somersaulting the nation. So when me and you travel, we are in any airport, precisely maybe we are taking transit from one country or the other, and they see green passport, it's a problem. It's a problem. The kind of, the way they will harass you, they will want to go extra just to check you. What do you have? Let me see your bag. What do you have inside your bag? I said I just came back when the daughter of the president was leaving the country. There are so many protocols that we just breached. But when we went to transit and get into just Thailand, there is no breach of protocol. We all have to be on the queue. Because you're a public servant. What is special there? It's only in Nigeria here where you are giving public office, you'll be going to do testimony in the church. They said to whom much is given, much is what? We're supposed to walk the walk. But all of us are not doing anything. As I talked to you, when I brought the idea of PPP project in, I was trying to sensitize the members of, my farmers, that let's stop doing agriculture, let's do agribusiness. Let's see your economics of production as your capital outlay. When you want to use 300,000 to produce, and by the time you sell, you are selling with 5 million naira. And it's working here. Do you know how much there is a bag of maize right now in the market? I don't know whether anybody can support me. Do you have any information about a bag of maize in the market? Do you know how much a paddy rice? I'm not talking rice now, milk rice. I'm talking paddy rice. There's so much wealth in this land. Nigeria is so blessed. I want to believe Nigeria is the Garden of Eden the Bible is talking about. I tell you the truth. Because virtually everything is here. I was listening to this Abuja popular program where Al-Mustafa was telling his testimony about a stone called Californium. And that's the most expensive stone in the world. Is here in Nigeria, in Maiduguri. Selling for 25 million, a gram. Selling for $25 million, a gram. Then imagine, myself and you choose to want to go. You know, they keep selling wrong information to people in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and what have you. Maiduguri is not safe, don't come. But when you go there, you see how many white men
Stealing those things.
stealing those things.
That's what is happening.
Let's go to Zamfara. What is happening in Zamfara? Why are white men more in Zamfara? Our problem is we are not informed. My problem and your problem is not the government. Let's ignore these guys. Until when we let them know the power is in our hands, we decide who sits in that place. And then at a particular election period, we all refuse to go out to vote. We all refuse to go out to vote. Because we know we don't need government to survive here. Me and you don't need government. We provide our electricity ourselves. We all provide water ourselves. Our children no longer go to public schools. My 4-year-old boy is paying 500 and something thousand. 4-year-old boy, 500 and something thousand for his school fees. Then I begin to imagine, why do I need the government? What support can they give to me as a citizen of this land? The truth is, they are privileged to have us. We are not privileged to have them. We need to wake up. Nigeria is blessed. Sad man. Nigeria is blessed. If we are not, Bill Gates will not be trooping in and out of this country. If we are not, there won't be partnership with Facebook and some of our, Jumia precisely. Conga. I'm in partnership with Facebook. Today, the management of Facebook is Jumia. Conga. It's no longer black men. They are all white men. Because they know this is a big market. They know Nigeria is really the trade destination of all the world. Me and you are blessed to be in Nigeria. Nigeria is not cursed, but our leaders, the people who sit in office of power, they are cursed because they take public funds to care for their homes. No empathy, no human side of the story on me and you. It's so terrible. So I would want this platform, I want to encourage the convener of this project to know that this is the right time to tell ourselves what is really going on in Nigeria. We need to sell the information. What is the comparative advantage of Kwara State to any other state? What is, we are very unlucky that this very law that local government autonomy, if that can really work, it's also good. Because we only keep fighting Mr. President and the governor. But what happens to the House of Rep member, National Assembly member? Those funds, those allocations, those budgets they give them to help the grassroots. Where have you seen that they have done youth scheme, they have been able to do one program or the other? Where? Please tell me. Most of the times we take our guns, we take our armor, and we'll be hammering the governor and the president. But they alone don't form the arms of government. I think it's time, through this kind of platform, to start asking the right questions. We all need to speak out. I'm sure for those my mothers here who are seated on high table, this riot that is going to be taking place very soon. If any of us, their kids, happen to be on the street.
It's not a riot.
It's a protest.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you for helping me use the right words.
Peaceful protest.
Okay, peaceful protest. If any of them see any of their kids trying to ask for their rights, they'll start calling them, if I'm your mother, go back home. Because nobody wants to die. But we can't remain the way we are. We cannot. I know of a particular African country where allowances are given to its citizens. They support them. They support household. But tell me, look at what is happening to Dangote today. Yes, we know he enjoys so many benefits, but you can see the guy is already speaking out now. Where are we in Nigeria? I tell you, I own 2 companies in Thailand, Bangkok. As during the COVID, immediately after the COVID, one of my companies was listed in stock market in Thailand. That very company, my partner, who we share 40% equal rights in the company, told me that it's going to crash my share from 40% to 10%. Tell me, if I go to the mission in Thailand, Nigerian mission in Thailand, that I own the company because I took dollars from here. I flew with Qatar Airways to Thailand to do that business. The business model, I drew it. But my problem is my skin. My problem is my color. My problem is that I'm a Nigerian. Who would listen to me? Who will hear my voice? The guy just told me. He was so scared because we usually, each time he's in the country, we sleep on the same bed. But that very trip that he needs to communicate to me, he has to bring my share down. He couldn't sleep. We were in the same room. He couldn't sleep. He was awake till the morning. 4 a.m. he was rushing to the restaurant to eat breakfast at 4 a.m. Because he knows there's no system. Nobody can protect us. Nobody can speak for us. I can't take my story anywhere and anybody will listen to me. Same. Colonization of the mind. I'm sure even here, if I should bring myself and my white partner were to be here, these guys know that John is the main brain box of our company. They know that John is the main brain box why this business is thriving. But if I bring them here, I'm sure you give them audience. You may even take photo snapshots with them, selfie. Because of the colonization of the mind. All of us. We just believe the white skin is better than us. But it's a lie. I've been there. I've stayed in Europe, I love to stay in Asia. Because there's a little similarity between ourselves and a country like Thailand. They don't have oil and gas. They depend on Africa for solid minerals. They only do agriculture. You have 7-point-something million hectares land space. They don't have it. Most of their land is waterlogged. They can't even bury their dead inside the ground. They have to cremate them because they don't have land space. You have everything, and still you are at their mercy. Nigeria, how far? Nigeria, how far? 2023, during the presidential election, I took form. I took form with a boot party to come out for presidency. I'm not planning to win. Please don't laugh me, please. My plan is to sell myself, sell my idea, my vision. I need to sell it to Nigerians. Many people who saw my profile. Sorry, I would love you to display my profile, please, a little. My profile, not this, please. Okay. Yes. Many people who saw my profile were laughing at these young guys. You guys are something else. But I have got so many ideas. These same ideas I'm taking to countries, and for me to bring an idea just in my office in the Ikeja at the airport, because I have a shopping mall at MM2 in Lagos. Just there, I drew a business that now became a multi-million dollars company that went into stock market in Thailand. Every minute I keep If my partner, the same guy who cheated me, I know I can't do without him. Because if I go alone to speak, they won't listen to me. Why? Because of my skin. So, but when he speaks, they listen. So I have to depend on him, even though he's cheating me. Today, after when he has done what he did by dropping my share from 40% to 10%, the company also dropped down because I'm the brain box of the business. Yeah. When the company dropped down, just recently, I looked at him and I said, "Oh, we'll go and we will remain for the same place." So I had to draw out a business model again to reawaken the business. He has tried everything, it didn't work. So he told me, "John, I'm going to do all expense paid trip for anybody you bring. Just come." I came in, and it was a stand-up call in Thailand. They received the daughter of the president with no profile. Sorry for using that word. With no profile. Because of me, because of the kind of packaging, because of the kind of idea the Nigerian guy brought on the table. Today the business is awakening. Everybody is calling. Today now, me and an agriculturist, I'm selling everything. Airline is calling me. People producing ship. I don't know whether we know Mason shipping line. The producer are there in Thailand. They are all calling me, "Oh, we want to trade with Nigeria." Everybody is coming. Malaysians are flying in because of that trade. But when we come here to talk, since I arrived now, I've been talking. It's not been easy. I've been telling them, "Oh, this. They want the white guy to talk first." My guys started telling me, "John, you better bring this guy in if you want this business to move." They want the white skin. The white skin guy don't know anything. He don't have any idea. He has nothing to say. I have to be the one. I'll be this. You say this. You will say this. When I say smile, smile. When I say frown, frown. But it's because of him I'll win the contract. Because of him. I was bidding. If you go to news, you can check my name. My name is Ambassador Derek Bishop. Just you will see what I said. And then, because I made that news on headline, on Guardian, the next week, they announced that border is open for importation of rice. Please, permit me to say this, all around the world, China, India, that we say they produce rice, they also depend on importation. But it's just that it's a controlled import. We can't produce all what we would eat because the poultry industry consumes more maize than me and you as humans. For them to make feed, they need more maize. So, okay, I think they are trying to show you a little about myself. I would want us to wake up. Let's think inwardly. There is so much money to be made in Nigeria. We can make trillions of naira. Nigeria is still a virgin land. Believe me, I tell you the truth. Believe me. My company in the airport, I used to have branches in 23 states. So I have marketers who are helping me network my business. I used to sell 2 billion naira in a month. What do I sell? All Thai brands. I push it around and I sell. Immediately after the COVID, the same business that I sell 2 billion naira, I can't even sell 5,000 naira. It went down. I went into other sector, agriculture. I invested so much in wheat value chain because Nigeria consumes about 6 million metric tons annually of wheat. So even that's 8 million that we consume, we can't produce all. So we need to depend on importation of wheat grain from Ukraine, from Russia, from America, and some African countries, I think this same Sudan. We import wheat grain from these places. And sir, you only need about maybe 600,000 or thereabout. We can even reduce it to say maybe 400 and something for the economics of production. You only be disciplined with yourself 3 months. You can do a business and you can make a profit, a good profit margin with all expenses covered. 4 million naira. You can make it. But we don't know. If you do best agronomical practice on your maize farm, with the price that is on ground right now, if you do very well, you're true to your word, you go to apply chemical at the time you need to apply it, you remove your weed when you need to remove it. You are disciplined, you are there. I'm telling you, you can make conveniently 3 million naira in 3 months. But who is ready to do the work? Our problem is we want fast money. We want something very quick. Nothing can happen very quick. It has to be slow. Take big and start small. Slow, small. All of us, we're not telling ourselves the truth. All of us. Some of us here are hungry and we're smiling. Some of us here are not even here for the program. Maybe because of the menu. Sorry, permit me to say that. Because we are not telling ourselves the truth in Nigeria. Rice. There is land. We can form ourselves a cluster. There are programs happening all around the country. You know, when people in the southeast will talk, they say, oh, it's people in the north they support with agri-compute. No. There are no representation for you in south, southeast, southwest. So all of you have to depend on your pockets to produce all your input. But my brothers and sisters in the north, what is happening? We need to wake up. As I said, the youth and women, particularly housewives, form 80-something% of this country population. We are predominantly youth and women country. But what is the multiple benefits to this country? What is the benefit to me and you as an individual? Do you know you can actually go to a particular place in Abuja or this Kuje road? You just see a land and then you start cultivating. Some people will come, you beg them, you drag it, and then they will allow you just to use it for 3 months. And in that 3 months, you can make 3 million naira. You only be disciplined. You discipline yourself. None of us want to fast, and we want miracle to happen. We want quick money. That's why we are all doing Yahoo. I want to appeal to us as Nigerians. I want to appeal to us as colleagues. I want to appeal to us as mothers and fathers who are here. That this is still the best country, believe me. That you can walk, that you can live, that you can survive. I pray God will bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and bless this very platform. Thank you very much.
Round of applause for him. And I wish I could read the profile and your ideas, but can you just give us a minute this time, please, so that people can actually know the personality of who just walked into this place, and we'll try as much as possible to be fast about it. Okay, please pardon me. Let me have that quickly before he goes. All right, let's start from Ambassador Arigbe John Ade Korede was born over 4 decades ago to a humble family in the North Central Geopolitical Zone of Kwara State, Nigeria. Like his peers, he had a vision to make it a positive impact in society and positively affected the lives of the populace. He had his first degree in accounting in the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic before moving ahead to acquire more knowledge at the South American University, where he backed a postgraduate diploma in business administration. His quest to acquire more knowledge, he returned to South American University for a second degree in business administration. He is a member of the Chartered Institute of Finance Control Association
David, right, is a professional author who stressed in global growth through his innovative and creative mindset has propelled him into having gained an outstanding entrepreneurship advancement. He is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of the Johnny Walker Travel and Tour Limited, and also has a chain of businesses around the world that has distinguished him as a viable, trusted and tested individual that has made his mark in the sands of time. His antiques and entrepreneurial progress saw him become the managing director and vice president of the successful Unabound Africa Co. Limited and co-chairman of All Trade African Global Connection Co. Limited. He is also the national chairman, the National Agricultural Commodity Project (NACP) and NACP National President, Carrot Growers, Processors and Marketers Association in Nigeria, National Market Council for Nigeria, National Management Consultant, and played a significant role in the first of its kind rights pyramid in Africa, and recently commissioned by President Mohamed Buhari as a major partner and a force to reckon with in the Rights Farmers Association (RIFA). In broadening his horizon and having a taste of working with a government agency, he served as an internal auditor for the Nigerian Space Management Agency (NAMA) headquarters, where he was also exceptional and stood tall and distinguished himself with a selfless and outstanding service to the agency, and left the saddle other pursuit of his dreams. So the list is long. I can continue reading for the next hour and I might not exhausted. So please, a round of applause for Ambassador John. And I would love you all to do that want his confidence regards farming as he came to that aspect of our economic growth and economic enhancement. It's an opportunity to just talk to him and see how we can work together. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. So quickly, I'd like to bring on my own special mama right now. She, for a person, is somebody you would love to hear. She's excited, she's rejuvenating, she wants you to have a passion for what she does. Please, with a standing applause, help me welcome Hajia Hadiza Muhammad, all the way from the UK. Just Mama, you're welcome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I should have read what I've written here, but seriously, I have to go for my prayers. I wanted to read it before the prayer time, unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, the prayer time is now. So, I'm not going to read this, but I'm talking about, my name is Honorable Hajia Hadiza Muhammad. I just flew back from UK 4 days ago because of this program. I respect the founder of Clevenard. Among the speakers, I think I'm the only one who really know who the Clevenard is. Clevenard, the founder of Clevenard, is a very, very young, should I say man, because I'm older than him, a boy. So he lives in Spain, and for years, at least from 2014, I've known him trying to bring all the Africans in diaspora to showcase what they can do, because the way the English people, or should I say foreigners,